What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be going over everything new that has been added to Fortnite in Chapter 3 Season 2, aka Resistance. Let's not waste any time and let's get straight into it. Alright, first thing up is the tanks. Now I want to talk about the tanks because obviously they're new and they're rather frustrating to deal with. They have lots of health, they have two guns on them, they have a cannon and the machine gun. Now if you're going up against a good squad, they're going to use the tank super well and greatly to their advantage. It does a lot of damage. Now you can easily combat it by using the cannons on top of the blimps or the aircrafts, whatever you would like to call it. But even then they are still annoying to deal with because the cannons are super hard to get an accurate read on them with. But that being said, if you also like the tanks, then you're going to have fun with them because they're overpowered. They kind of remind me of the mechs a little bit, just not as annoying because the mechs, as everybody knows, was super frustrating to deal with. These I don't think are nearly as bad, but I can definitely see somebody arguing that. Like, I can see it. But that being said, I think the tanks are a nice addition to the game. I think you guys will actually like them. I think everybody will get used to them. I don't think they're simply as annoying as the mechs were, but I could also see them being removed. Alright, next thing I want to discuss is combat sprinting. Now, I think it is awesome. It helps pick up the pace a little bit so you're not just, walking or using that default auto sprint that is still rather slow. This helps pick up the game a lot faster. But that being said, it definitely seems like since there's no building or anything like that, the lobbies stay healthier a lot longer. So, do with that information that you will. And then next is these cannons. Okay, you can shoot these cannons at vehicles, and you can also use the cannons to shoot yourself to make those rotations a lot easier. As you can see here, if you're going to push those fights that are a little further away, you have the cannons to your advantage. I use them here, to help with the push. I'm trying to get kills. It's still early in the season, so there's a lot of, newer people getting back on to see what is new about the game, to help with these pushes, if you will, so I can act like I'm a pro player for a day or two while everybody's still kind of new to everything that's going on. But I think the cannons are great and combat sprinting is great. Now, another thing that they have added is the shield. Okay, so you obviously default at 100 health, but there's a little shield, if you notice, next to my health that gives you free shield. Okay, so if you're full health and full shield, it'll give you an extra 50, so it'll give you 250 health altogether, which I think is great since there's no builds to help protect you from, people shooting. That little extra health can help combat getting lasered almost immediately. Great addition so far. There's also wall mantling that has been added, which helps you get to those buildings that are higher up a lot easier because, no builds. Can't get that high up on the building. So those are all great additions. I think this season so far has started off pretty good. People might complain about the no building aspect of things, but in my opinion, it helps those guys that aren't very good at shooting and rely solely on building. Yeah, I don't know why I just messed that up. But building things, get out there and actually work on their aim instead of, relying on those 1x1s, 4x4, 9x9, whatever you want to call it, to outplay people. Now you got to rely on your gun skill and you can't just, luckily try to one pump somebody through a box. Now you're actually fighting with them. Next up, I would like to talk about the new guns that have been added. So first up, we have the Red Dot Striker Burst Rifle, which is horrible. Like, it is downright awful. Okay, the Red Dot kind of reminds me of the MK7, but it doesn't look as appealing. It's like the AUG from Call of Duty if you ever played it. Now, trust me when I say you don't want this in your loadout. Next up, you have the Combat SMG. Now, that is cash money. Okay, it's way better than the Stinger, and I'm saying way better, but it's practically the same, but I prefer it over the Stinger. People were complaining about how OP the Stinger was and how big of a spray meta it caused, and they were wanting it nerfed, but instead the Stinger got a buff, and they added an even better SMG. Now, I like the Combat SMG. That'll be in all my loadouts, obviously, but the Burst Rifle will not be in my loadout, okay? We also got some unvaulted weapons, such as the thermal scoped AR. I actually like it. The drum shotty, the revolver, remote explosives, aka C4, thermal scoped revolver, Storm Scout sniper rifle, shockwave grenades, and then returning season 1 weapons, we got the Ranger AR, which is cash money, striker pump shotgun, it's prefer the old pump, auto shotgun, sidearm pistol, Stinger SMG obviously, hunter bolt action sniper, horrible, shadow tracker, marksman 6 shooter, the dub, and boom sniper rifle. Okay, now combat SMG, that's a dub. Burst AR, nah, I don't want to see that in anybody's loadouts. Okay, y'all are gonna have to stay away from that. Trust me. Just trust me. You guys want to trust me. I know you guys do. You guys will listen to me. All right, guys. So next up, and one of the final things we're going to be talking about are the new POIs. Okay, although you could say relatively new, but the only thing that's really changed is the addition of more IO guards and the little battles and stuff, you know, that they covered in the cutscene, which was rather brief if you ask me. Okay, firstly, you have the command cavern, which is practically the same. All they did was really add a blimp, or, you know, an aircraft, whatever you want to call it, and more IO guards. Okay, that's really it. Then you got Synopsis Station. 7 outposts began popping up throughout the map last season. Chapter 3 Season 2 debuts a name location as basically one large outpost. See, it's the exact same as all the other ones. It's known as Synopsis Station. This area is home to 4 chest-filled buildings that are watched over by friendly 7 guards. Okay, so they're not IO guards, they're the guys fighting against the IO guards now. Obviously, if you shoot them, what do you think they're going to do to you? Well, I'm going to take a guess and say they're going to shoot you. You know, it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. Now, it's located west of Chonker Speedway and is the closest location to the map's southern coast, so it's right next to the water for those fishing spots. And then finally, you have the fortress. It's the drill. That's all it is the drill. There's IO guards there. It's rather annoying, honestly. The IO guards are annoying. Okay, now you guys can deal with them all you want. Me, I'd rather not deal with them because they're a headache. Okay, then lastly is the new battle pass and what is going on with it. Okay, now obviously if you scroll through the battle pass, you see Doctor Strange in there, which, as you're aware, they always do a collab of some sort, especially now here recently with the Marvel stuff. Now, this battle pass I actually think is pretty good. It's got a lot of anime characters in it, and by a lot, I mean there's 2. Now, they're not like obviously big name anime characters, but they're still dope looking nonetheless. The Doctor Strange skin actually looks pretty dope. It's the final one you get. Okay. Now, I recommend getting the battle pass. Obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I think it looks pretty good. I overall think that this season is going to be great. Okay, I like the no building. I like the new SMG. The tanks I could do without that. But I like the rotations that the cannons give you. I also like the combat sprint and the mantling. Okay, those are all great additions. And I like the 50 shield that you get, the extra shield that just builds up, you know, after you lose all of it. Comes back in like 10 seconds. It's great. It's all great additions. Personally, so far, I think they've crushed this season out of the park, even though it's only been one full day, you know, a day and a half. But still, I think it's going to be a great season. I think we've got a lot of things that we're going to be able to enjoy this season. I think they're going to bring a lot of content our way. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick explanation of everything new that's added. It wasn't too in-depth, wasn't too crazy. It just lets you get the minimum of it, the gist of it, everything new, nothing too crazy. It wasn't overwhelming information. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.